Hey, all. Thanks for being a part of Vote Common Good. My name is Doug Pagitt, the Executive Director of Vote Common Good. And for this day's suggestion for what we can do to build resilience in our hearts, in our minds, in our lives during the Trump years, because look, we all need it. And this is our fifth installment of a suggestion. We're doing one a day for this week, and then we'll do one a week for the next 207 weeks of the Trump administration so that we build into ourselves, into our communities, and into our country the kind of resilience that we need so that the common good can thrive. Because for many of us, we know that's not going to happen in the midst of the Trump administration, and we're going to have to do all that we can in action and engagement to be sure that it happens. So today's suggestion is that you learn something from someone who supports Donald Trump. Now, my suggestion is that you learn something not related to politics, because that can get a little close to the heart. Maybe not learn something that is related to the causes that you care a lot about, because that can start to stir up debate. I'm not asking you to develop empathy for the ideas or for the beliefs of these other people. What I'm suggesting is that you learn something not related to politics or social engagement, so that you remember that folks who disagree with you, people who believe differently than many of us do about the future of this country and how we ought to behave, are also people that have some other things to contribute. It's part of humanizing those that we disagree with. So I'm going to suggest that you take an active role in doing this. Like maybe you want to use a friendship. Maybe you have a close friend that you don't want to talk about politics with, but there's something that she knows how to do that you would like to learn. So you ask for a little bit of advice. You become a learner. Or maybe someone close to you is just too close and you want to think about finding somebody online. Maybe you can sort of hunt out on YouTube videos or Instagram videos or other places that somebody may have a belief different than yours, but they might know something about fixing a car or the best vacuum to buy or how to fix a broken necklace. I bring up those examples because those are all things that I had to learn in the last number of months, and chose to learn those from people that I knew I didn't agree with. So when I grabbed the new vacuum or figured that thing out in my Ford car or saw the repaired necklace, I was reminded that the people we disagree with are still people that have a lot to offer. And that's what we want to do, right? We want to find the very best in us, each of us, and in us as a collective society, and bring that forward. We want to progress and bring that forward, but we also want to conserve that which is good that people have to bring along. It's a different way of thinking about progressives and conservatives. Some things we want to move forward on and some things we want to be sure we keep and bring with us. We'll talk about that more in some other videos coming up here in a few months. But for this day's suggestion, consider finding someone you can learn something from so that you remember we're people who have qualities and goodness that we can bring. You might know that at Vote Common Good, we traveled the country this fall and did all kinds of work to try to make sure that the outcome that happened in November did not happen. And it did. And we're reconciling with that. I think about that a lot in my own personal life and in work. But I'm also reminded of how many times when we were traveling in buses and moving about and doing setups for events and meeting with candidates and running voter contact events, how often people who disagreed with us politically would tell us that, but were still really good to us, very helpful to us, often very kind. It was such a good reminder that these important issues that we're all going to work on and we're going to disagree about and we're going to struggle toward a different conclusion in this country, they're not the only things. And there are other things that we contribute to one another's lives beyond this. So we're recording this and posting it on a Saturday. So on this Saturday, I hope it's a good Saturday for you. And may you find a way to love yourself and love one another. Thanks for being a part of Vote Common Good.